welcome back to Let's Read the Homestuck Recap, where everything is bad and I hate everything. So we're now going to read the candy timeline. I literally, like, reading the meat timeline, like, had me fucked up. Like, that was bad. It's like, what time is it right now? It's 9:22 a.m. I don't have work for hours till later. I had to make myself a tequila sunrise, dude. Like, to get through this shit, I already had coffee. I need a drink, and I think I've earned it, and no one can tell me my decisions are unhealthy. I am an adult. I've waited 22 years in this life. I'm surprised I made it this far. I've earned my right to drink this shit. Some nice whipped cream at the top, too. I keep hearing sounds from the outside, and I know it's the rain, but it bothers me, because I think people are going to walk in. Anyway, let's get this shit done before somebody actually does walk in. I'm home alone right now. Candy. Meanwhile, inside the black hole, another timeline has been in progress. In this timeline, John chooses to eat the candy at the picnic instead of the meat. Upon doing so, he starts feeling sweet and sentimental about the time with his friends that he missed out on while he was holed up at home, in which he now risks sacrificing by leaving. He chooses to ignore Lord English and stays on Earth, to Roxy and Calliope's approval. The failure to validate the canon leaves John to suspect that his existence is somehow insubstantial and meaningless. Calliope distracts him with one final task. He must rescue Gamzee, who she insists deserves to begin his redemption arc immediately. John reluctantly does so, retrieving him from the final moments of the events of Collide. Okay, sure. He did. You know what? Yeah, that makes sense, because I remember him vanishing after Collide. No. He died during Game Over. Can I slice him in half? All right, cool. No, never mind. Back on Earthsea, Gamzee is set free from the fridge and declares his redemption arc begun. He claims that every bad thing he has ever done was simply due to an extenuating circumstance beyond his control. Roxy and Calliope are taken in by his transparent bullshit. Not buying this foolishness for a second, John texts Terezi out of the furthest ring. The two privately dunk on Gamzee, who begins attracting the attention of civilians with his performative contrition? John's decision not to validate the truth of the canon does not go unnoticed. Dirk, as his ascended self, is shaken by the profound undermining of his own narrative significance. He calls Jane, tells her to cancel the presidential bid, and goes off the grid. Jane visits Jake at the mansion where he has been getting drunk and shooting things. They discuss Dirk's strange behavior and sudden disappearance. As Jane joins in with Jake's day drinking, just like me, she attempts to seduce him but is ignored. Not to be denied, she resorts to using the terrible power of the trickster lollipop. The two sleep together. When they come to, Jake is alarmed by his lack of consent in the matter. Jane manages to talk him into a committed relationship. Wow, Jane, you continue to be one of the worst. Holy shit. Even on this timeline. That's sexual assault, Jane. That's my boy, Jake. Jake is such a sweetheart. Like, he doesn't deserve the amount of shit he gets. Rose wakes up, miraculously recovered from her illness. She and Kanaya renew their vows of love to one another. Soon after, they visit the brooding caverns to find a newly hatched scrub which bears a striking resemblance to Vriska's circuit. Rose and Mina decide to adopt this scrub and name her Vriska Miriam Lalonde. Vriska ML. Please, I don't want to call her Miriam Lalonde. She will be Vriska ML. Jade gives the news of Jane's political withdrawal to Dave and Karkat. They agree that this is a welcome development. Jane proceeds to aggressively flirt with Dave and Karkat. They both agree that this is very unwelcome development. She then drags the two of them out on a date, pressuring their feelings down even further. Eventually, it becomes unbearable. Karkat throws a tantrum, and Dave simply fucks off. That's in character. Jane and Roxy go on a coffee date. Gamzee soon interferes, offering to act as John's wingman while Roxy is in the bathroom. John is naturally disgusted by this. Gamzee leaves, and John serendipitously texts Terezi about it until Roxy returns. Dave then interrupts, taking John outside and asking for advice on handling his relationship with Jade and Karkat. John can't give him a satisfying answer. Dave decides he needs to talk to his bro, and then goes to his studio. There he finds Gamzee as well as a note left by Dirk. Dave's worst fears are realized as Dirk kills himself by hanging in public, his death automatically proving just due to the self-hatred. Fucking what? Why? What? What the fuck is going on? Listen, I'm starting to believe that maybe I didn't read the epilogues. Because what the fuck? Like, did this happen in the epilogues? I don't remember this. I remember the epilogues seeming almost designed to piss everyone off. But what the hell? Ugh. Oh, God. That was a lot. Wow. At Dirk's funeral, Dave gives a conflicted but heartfelt speech, which Gamzee immediately defiles with his own eulogy. John leaves in disgust right around the time to interrupt a crucial moment of intimacy between Dave and Karkat outside. John offers to retcon Dirk's death, but Dave refuses. Once Dave and Karkat leave at Jade's call, John notices that he can't seem to use his retcon powers at all. Roxy comes outside and proposes to John, which he accepts. What? Once again, this just seems like a list of bullshit that's happening. Nothing is connected. John texts Terezi, but a time flow difference between the interior of the black hole and the furthest ring outside of it results on them speaking again 6 months after the wedding takes place. John reveals Roxy is now pregnant with their first child. Aren't y'all like 16 when this shit... In the meantime, Jade's relationship with Dave and Karkat has not been going well. Jane's bizarre three-way with Jake and Gamzee is even worse. Unaware that he is speaking to Terezi from the outside of the black hole, John tries to convince her to return to Earth C. She refuses. 3 months later, John and a heavily pregnant Roxy visit Rose and Kanaya. John becomes confused when it appears that none of his friends remember the true course of canonical events. Rose in particular does not seem to recall pressuring him to fighting Lord English at all. He continues to message Terezi in secret, her presence seeming to be only real thing in his life. Wow. I'm now like speeding through some of these paragraphs. Both as trying to get the information done quickly, and two, because I'm trying to make sure that like I'm still fully conscious. Like I'm drinking. It's not a lot, but like when I drink, I like to read faster because I don't know. It's like a self-challenge thing. So let's keep that going. Jane and Gamzee's relationship takes a turn for the Caligonist. Jake, who has been caring for his and Jane's biological son, Tavros Crocker. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. No, don't do that. Tavros Crocker leaves the room. Gamzee's amorous honks follow him out as he calls to Jade and has a short, sad conversation about their respective futures. Oh, I'm stupid. Swept up by the baby-making spree, Jade tries to pressure Dave and Karkat into having kids between the three of them. The three are characteristically recalcitrant. I'm going with that. The decision is interrupted by the sudden arrival of the corpse of teen Jade, who fell into the black hole in the meat timeline. So the timelines are merging. Jade immediately takes her alternate self's body to Jane, but Jane cannot heal her, noting the frustration that she doesn't seem quite dead. Oh, Jesus. The event has brought everyone together, though, and Roxy tries to capitalize on the opportunity by suggesting another funeral. The sudden proximity inflames the political situation, though, when Karkat and Kanaya publicly opposing Jane's machinations. Karkat expresses his anger as Jade does not take his side in the face of Jane's flagrant xenophobia. He delivers a damning speech and then leaves, breaking off his relationship with Jade and Dave in the process. The funeral for teen Jade happens in spite of this setback. During the proceedings, Aradia and Solix inexplicably show up. They just happen to show up. Fuck off. That's so bad. Roxy's speech is cut short by going into labor. John races her to the hospital, and Callie moves to follow, but gets distracted by the sudden reanimation of teen Jade's corpse. Oh my lord. The body wakes up claiming to be the alternate version of Calliope, who has destroyed the green sun. She now exists as a consciousness in the black hole and devoured it, channeled through Jade's body. She says that she has come here to protect their world and prepare to challenge Dirk, who is simultaneously assuming control of events outside of the black hole's event horizon. Events begin to accelerate. 3 years in the future, Terezi messages John on his 3rd birthday of his son, Harry Anderson Egbert. Not bad. John fills Terezi in on the current state of the events, which have rapidly begun to deteriorate. Troll ghosts who were sucked into the black hole have begun falling from the sky en masse. Jane is using her business to lobby the government into instituting more and more totalitarian controls on the troll population. Why are you like this? Karkat has established a rebel faction. The rebellion basically sucks until Mina shows up wearing the Ring of Life, which she stole from John. She agrees to be Karkat's second in command and starts whipping into resistance into shape. Yeah, so the timelines seem to be merging because the event horizon of the black hole and the green sun and all that shit kind of are the edges and the beginnings of each universe. Whatever happened to the frogs? Gamzee started performing public redemptions featuring sloppy makeouts and baby bottles full of Jane's breast milk. Fucking no! Don't like it. Worried about Tavros Crocker's abusive home life, John plans to kidnap him. He puts a plan into action during Harry's 5th birthday party held at Jane's Manor. He manages to get Tavros into his bedroom where they can escape out the window, but gets interrupted by Jade. The two of them argue loudly enough to alert the rest of their friends. John and Jade have confrontation that culminates in John losing control of the windy thing. He leaves the party in disgrace. Terezi texts him, and the two of them open up about their existential despair. Terezi admits that she's dying of starvation, but she can't bring herself to give up on searching for Vriska. Their conversation ends with Terezi saying that she wanted to give John closure. John is worried about the implications of his continuing involvement with Terezi and flies around until his dad's car crashes through the sky, noticing Terezi's blood all over the backseat from their hate fuck section in Meat. Okay. John mistakenly takes this to mean that she is dead. Fuck. Yeah, the timelines are fucking merging, bro. What's the point of even having them? This leads to an existential tantrum so intense it forces the narrative to skip 10 years. Sure. Harry Anderson is now a shitty teen and dating the slightly less shitty teen Vriska ML, who is in a colligonous relationship with Tavros Crocker, because of course. They consider running away from home, joining Karkat's rebellion together because things are so fucked. John himself is now epically... Alright, give me a second. I have to save that. I'm gonna save that and send it to... send that to D'Angelo later. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my Lord. How are we looking right now? Jesus. John himself is now epically divorced. He attends Jade and Dave's wedding where he meets Karkat. He considers joining Karkat's rebellion but decides against it because he thinks he'd be too sad and useless. Karkat flees to avoid meeting Dave, who comes outside to talk to his best friend. John throws away the selfie he had asked Terezi to take 10 years ago, making peace with the idea that nothing matters anymore. The original Vriska sucked in the black hole during the battle with the Lord English drops from the sky. She's alive, and she's pissed. Sure. Alternate Calliope spots Lord English's own entrance in the black hole and moves to intercept him. Jake informs Jane her father has died, protecting the president from the assassination attempt by Karkat's rebellion. Jane launches a full-scale war to kill Karkat, and when Gamzee objects to her xenophobic rhetoric, she kicks him out of her life and off the Imperial warship. Huh? Oh, Jane's just straight up trying to be the new Betty Crocker. Okay. The Batter Witch. That's what the term was. Vriska, now dubbed Vriska, hates the inconsequential reality she finds herself in and wants to return to the canon immediately. They're interrupted by Gamzee, who tries to manipulate Vriska into a sexual relationship in the name of redemption. She delivers a righteous and savage beatdown, but the clown's disgusting wiles have the desired effect. The two hate smooch behind some bushes. Ew. Rose and Kanaya arrive. Themselves now important rebellion figures. John is distracted from the horrific clownery by Rose, who thanks him for making the choice to put them on this path. She no longer cares if this reality is true, relevant, or essential. Good, because it isn't any of those things. And is enjoying the simple happiness of loving her wife and daughter. Vriska ML discovers her namesake in the business with Gamzee. Ew. Vriska freaks out. Gamzee tries to manipulate her some more, implying that she somehow took advantage of him despite their age difference. She kills him. Oh. Oh. Like that, huh? And the two of the Vriskas acquaint themselves. Vriska ML reveals that she stole John's phone, and they read his conversations with Terezi. And after divulging her long-standing and complex romantic feelings for her fellow Scourge sister, Vriska sends Terezi a message. John returns to his father's house, where he discovers Jake and Tavros, who have fled the Crocker household. Jake and John have a heart-to-heart. Jake convinces John to reach out to Roxy and Harry Anderson. John meets Roxy at their old house. John believes that his actions have doomed everyone to insignificance. Roxy declares this self-important nonsense and opens up to him about her feelings about their marriage, gender, and childbirth. When Harry Anderson arrives home, John asks him if he'd like to go for a drive. Harry agrees. Dave and Jade, now working for Karkaz Rebellion, work far from the front line, excavating ancient Earth artifacts that they got separated from Dave and finds his ruins on the Oval Office. The drinks are starting to hit. Oh, and I haven't eaten breakfast. Oh, shit. Okay. It's 9:37. I should probably eat breakfast. We're almost done, actually. I have some pizza I can just heat up. There, he finds a transporter that leads him to the chamber with a Hero of Hope outfit and a holographic projection of Barack Obama, who addresses him directly. Dave talks to his hero about his sexuality. Obama comforts him before convincing him to ascend to the ultimate self and enter the robot body Dirk has apparently prepared for him in some time before. The dead cherub, still inhabiting Jade's body, explains to Aradia that their reality, being composed of stories, is open to manipulation by any agent powerful enough to assume the role of narrator. Such manipulation may only become apparent in hindsight, casting into doubt the neutrality of all events prior, and hence undermining the very integrity of the story in which they live. That is, she reveals what Dirk has been up to outside the event horizon. The dead cherub then kills and devours Lord English. By doing so, she attains heights of power heretofore unmatched. She punches a wormhole in the fabric of Black Hole, allowing a brief window of escape in his gravitational well. Dave Bot arrives. The cherub, Dave Bot, and Aradia leave through the portal in pursuit of the prince. Okay, so here's what's going on. I finally have a grasp of what's happening in actual Homestuck 2 Beyond Canon. Nothing matters. Everything is canon and nothing is canon. There are two different timelines that are about to merge, and we've got two different teams of three. Currently, the team of three that we're following is who we've been following for a while, which is Dirk, Terezi, and Rosebot, and we currently have Calliope inhabiting Jade's body, Aradia, who I never wanted to see again, but here we are, and Dave Bot chasing after them, and then we have a whole slew of inconsequential bullshit happening on Earth C, including two Vriskas and a dead Gamzee. I just want more Homestuck 2 to come out. That's all I want, just so I can get more context to stuff. This is incredibly stressful. Like, I'm in distress right now trying to read this shit. It's ridiculous. All right. I'm going to leave y'all at that because I need to make breakfast. I don't know. I should have never made the decision to read the prologues. I should have kept myself in the dark. This has been JP, and please don't die until my next video comes out.